just make sure that you have good light, good audio, and don't try to go too crazy. Like, take steps, because if you have good audio and decent footage and you're delivering great content, it's not going to matter
Yeah.
how okay the quality is, as long as you're delivering great content. I mean, look at it today. Companies are using Zoom interviews on TV
Yeah.
as ads,
Well,
like
and that's
in
the
this
joke
era.
too, is like the glitching out screen is like a common joke on ads now. So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, no, your phone is fine. And you're absolutely right, though. I think audio and lighting is the main, like, especially audio. If like you can have the most pretty, incredible lit shot, and if your audio sucks, they can't hear what you're saying. It's your message is not going to hit because they can't hear you. So that audio piece is huge. Social media is why you're seeing movie trailers now showing the first 5 seconds is just the most intense parts or the coolest or action or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 and then title, because they want to hook you. It's literally movie trailers have changed because of social media. So the big question is this: how are creators like us, who aren't built for the 9 to 5, for the people who put their passion before them being comfortable, how do we turn that passion into a living that pays the bills and a life that we love? That is the question. This podcast will give you the answers. My name is Noah Mittman, and welcome to Conversations with Creators. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the podcast. And I am super excited. Today on the show joining me is Adam Ekblad. And Adam, tell the fine people about yourself. What do we need to know about you?
Hi guys, my name is Adam. That's the first thing you need to know. I love to travel. I love to make videos. I love to take pictures and make good content. Just going the extra mile for me to make that picture look better is always what I love to do. Uh, Background on me, I've done video now professionally for close to 10 years. I was doing it professionally before I even went to college. So I went to school for marketing instead because that interested me, and I've always been interested in business. And I was like, what can I apply to video instead of just going to film school that will make it better? And that kind of led me down this tunnel of video marketing. And now I have a video production firm based in Tampa that helps small businesses. And we use video, and we've also recently started social media management because a lot of our clients need that.
Yep.
And we're also opening up a travel brand called Maury Travel that is specifically a travel agency, travel marketing agency, I should say, for small brands and medium brands in the travel industry.
Wow, that's a lot of hats. That's a lot of things you're doing.
it
So
all connects back together.
yeah, exactly. You basically you've built a career around pressing record, which is I'm in a similar place.
Yeah. I didn't know that I'd be this way. If you asked my dad, he thought I would have been an engineer, and I probably would have been if I hadn't gotten involved in film and TV the way I did. And I just started picking up gigs and getting paid. But when I was like 15, 16 for doing video work, and I
Wow, you started that young with
like,
work.
oh yeah, like my first paid project that I shot on my own was a music video, but I also was doing like PA stuff. When I got my driver's license, I could start PAing and like delivering coffees and all that
Yeah,
kind of thing. And that's why I didn't go to film school, because like
you're
by
already
the time
working.
I was done, the internship I was working in high school ended up paying me and like keeping me on. And I was the head intern of all the interns. And I was the only one in high school, and everybody else was in their college internship, and I was their boss. So like I was like, I don't want to get 100 grand in debt. Sorry if
Correct.
you went. Not everybody's film school experience the same way, but
No,
for me,
I've been through film school, and I am I'm adamant that people should not go to film school if they want to get into film, because it's the degree is pretty useless.
I could see it, like if you're wanting, like if you're like 18 and you want to get into it and you're just getting started, maybe, because like it'll get you on the right path and get
Yeah.
you guided. But if you're already doing video like full time, or even for a vlog or anything, I don't see a point in it. So,
Yeah.
but that's not the point. We could go on that discussion all day long. So,
Absolutely. So yeah, what interested you kind of about the video marketing side of things when you were kind of moving towards that?
okay, so everybody knows about social media video. I learned about it before I went to college. I was already doing it for my video business. And then in college, I was working with the professor actually to tell them, like, because it keeps updating so much that some of the professors didn't even know the most up-to-date version. So they were asking me and I was showing them my stuff in the class. But
I had a similar experience.
So that was just for me tinkering around trying to get wedding video clients back in the day. Now I don't really try to chase after wedding video clients. But the point is I was using the videos to do more of the marketing, because you can sit there and you can create photos, you can create brochures, but you know what? Everybody can create photos and everybody can create brochures, but everybody can create video too. But to either be good or have good quality, there's the barriers to entry, whether it's experience, equipment, or knowledge. So
Yeah.
I think that by using video, you're able to portray such a long message and so much information in such a short time that not even 1,000 pictures could do it. I always like to say, they say a picture's worth 1,000 words, and how much is a video worth? Because
24 frames a
one
second.
video, exactly, one video is 24 pictures in 1 second. So how much information can you convey? And in a picture, you can't even do audio. You can't do like written stuff. Well, you can do written stuff, but you can do like more written stuff like subtitles, graphics, VFX. It gets pretty complex. And I did start out in photography originally, but then got bit by video because it's just so much more intricate and has a lot more moving parts.
Yeah. Especially speaking of like moving parts, like actual moving shots. I very rarely have the camera sitting still other than like, it's funny. Most of my content is me talking to camera because I'm trying to deliver information and teach. But if you look at any of my work, any B-roll and stuff, it's all moving. Because that's why video is awesome. It's dynamic, it's changing, it's like interesting.
Yeah, it's so weird for me because I'm just getting to the part where I'm okay with being in front of camera. Like I'm always okay with doing it when I'm recording myself, but I always notice that I talk too fast and I'm trying to overcompensate for it. But now with the content revolution, I mean, it's not even a revolution. It's just like who can make more content wins. People stop making content and leave the game. People enter the game. So it's like, even if your market's crowded or anything, by creating the content that makes you stand out and being consistent, because I guarantee you most of these brands fall off. Like some of these RSS feeds I was looking at when I was managing some social media things, like Home Depot is posting like 4 times a quarter. I'm like, granted, they're a big business and all, but like there's a huge opportunity in that DIY space to take over some of the top spots there with just posting more content. That's kind of the bottom line right there. Is you're making the content for the knowledge and the information. And this should be very important to anybody who's listening, no matter what kind of business, whatever you have, is the fact that you're providing that content is so important.
Mm-hmm.
And although like you may not see the result today, tomorrow, next week, next month, you're making those connections one-on-one with the content that you're creating. And that person may one day be ready to do it. And you know who they're going to think of when it comes to mind when they're having problems? Bing, that's it. And that's impossible to measure.
Right.
It's really hard to measure because it could take a couple months. Like I'm doing this other video marketing thing for a construction company. And finding the brands that I like to work with that this is important for is just the brand awareness and the brand recognition. I don't think people value this because it's hard to put a metric on it. Because, for example, let's break it down. This construction company, basically, they do home renovations and I do video marketing for them. We do several videos a week and everything. And the pages, we've been doing it for about a month now, and the page is starting to react to it. It's gotten several leads, and for them, it works out great because one lead that closes is very high end. They sell a high end product. It could be tens of thousands of dollars to remodel your house. So that's a very high end lead. But so here's where it really breaks down, is the fact that these clients that are just seeing the content, they're not there. They might not need a renovation today or tomorrow. They might not need a renovation next week, next month. They might not ever need a renovation. They might be living in an apartment. But when it does come time for them to need a renovation, or if they're in a conversation having some drinks with friends and they have a conversation about renovation, who are you going to call?
Yep.
It's so dumb. Or another great one here is all these car accident law firms. They literally sit here and
So many of
advertise
them.
so much
Yeah.
and so much, and you can sing all the jingles, you can say all the things, and you think you never need it, but I was in a car accident that was somebody's fault, and I had to use it. And you know who I called? The one that came to my mind first, you
Top of
know?
mind. Yep.
And it's like they spent tens and tens of thousands of dollars to do that, but it worked out. And you know, I've heard those commercials for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. I've had my driver's license now 9 years, 10 years. I've been hearing them since then. And 9 years later, I became a client just because of that.
Yeah. No, I've been having this, I mean, not a customer experience similar, but just been, you know, a couple of weeks ago, I want to do more of this, but made a video post / photo post every day of the week. And I'm still, you know, it was 1 week and I want to do that weekly, but then, you know, life gets in, it's a lot of work doing that. You need a team behind you, which I realized after the first week. So I'm assembling the team now to be able to be more consistent with that.
No, I just started this whole team thing and it's honestly a godsend because like I'm that type of person that can do everything and I love to do it because it's my art. I know, like you said about, but like letting go is so important.
It is.
And
but no, I mean,
that's another point. It's not video marketing
that,
related, but just anything.
Seeing engagement coming in still on old stuff, you know, on stuff that I made a couple weeks ago is great. And, you know, realizing that like, oh, you do this, if you like really bust your ass and do this consistently, you're going to have a whole library of stuff that people are engaging with from like months ago. And that's where your brand really kind of builds because they can just binge through your stuff, which they do. And it's hugely important.
Yeah. The other thing that this kind of reminds me when we're talking about the construction project is when I took it over, they were doing like boosted post ads, which kind of are a big no-no in the advertising and marketing world, but a lot of people don't know that. So step number one, don't ever do a boosted poster ad. It's not very controlled. It's kind of just like a giant shotgun blast.
That makes sense.
So this company was spending like $100 to $200 to boost these posts, and they were getting some likes and about 50 engagements from them. But then we posted video when I took it over, and the same video gets the same engagement without spending any money.
Yeah.
And it's just as simple as that. Like you can spend the money on ads trying to push it, or you can spend the money on good content.
Right.
So, I mean, if you can't make it yourself, find somebody to do it because like we said, it's a lot to manage. I mean, even if you're going to edit yourself, clearly you need to run your business and you should probably outsource it, I would say. Like, if you're really serious and you're in a business like that, like this is the number one thing to grow. And I think we were talking about this earlier is the other big problem is that the content creation is only 50% of the work.
Yep.
So making sure that like, if you hire somebody like a firm, even if it costs you $2,000, $3,000, maybe a month, that's taking so much work off of you. So all you have to do is work to promote that. And that is literally just so important because if you're spending the time that you were spending on creating videos, if you're not a video person, I guarantee you you're way slower at it. Cause like I can tell you now, I'm way better than I was 5 years ago. So like spend the time on what's going to give you the most return and don't think about the number that you're spending. Think about the number that you're losing out on instead.
Right. Well, yeah. Like how much is your time worth and how much of that time are you spending doing stuff that that's not revenue generating at the moment, which is huge. Like where are you spending your time with and how's it making you money?
It's just the point that if you're spending, let's say $2,500 a month in video and you're missing out on so many people because you're not using the video. So by getting the video, you're actually connecting to more people, you're being more engaged, and you're technically losing money if you're not using video properly because you really are, bottom line. It helps your website, it helps your Facebook, it helps everything online because everybody can sit down and write, but not everybody can make a video. So make sure you have a watchable video. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's got to be good. I mean, it's got to have a story. People always fret about the quality of the shots and the quality of everything. But here's a couple quick tips. If you have good audio, good shots, if you're on a smartphone, that's okay. Don't record at night. Only record outside in the day. Make sure you have light, get that thing light. Make sure you have some sort of mic, whether it's going to be a wireless lav like I have on. As you can tell, I'm not from the podcasting industry. This is for my video gear. But just make sure that you have good light, good audio, and don't try to go too crazy. Like, take steps, because if you have good audio and decent footage and you're delivering great content, it's not going to matter how okay the quality is, as long as you're delivering great content. I mean, look at it today. Companies are using Zoom interviews on TV as ads. Like,
well, and that's the joke too, is like the glitching out screen is like a common joke on ads now. So it's like, no, your phone is fine. And you're absolutely right, though. I think audio and lighting is the main, like, especially audio. If like, you can have the most pretty incredible lit shot, and if your audio sucks, they can't hear what you're saying. It's your message is not going to hit because they can't hear you. So that audio piece is huge.
Yeah, that's so true. And the other thing to think about, even if you want to have the best cameras and stuff, is at the end of the day, whether Coke puts it on Facebook, whether Nike puts it on Facebook, whether you put it on Facebook, whether I put it on Facebook, it all goes through the same compression.
Right.
So the video,
LinkedIn, I've realized,
oh my God, LinkedIn's the worst. Oh
bad.
my gosh. It's not just me.
I have been like, I know I shot this in HD. I know I uploaded this in H.264 compression, which is what you're supposed to use on the internet. Why does this look like dog shit?
I'm still waiting for the internet to convert over to H.265, but that's another story for another day.
But yeah, no, LinkedIn, don't worry about it. It looks like shit for everybody. It's okay. Yeah, LinkedIn, get on your compression game, man. Like, get up to YouTube's level at least.
Yeah, and even the thing people don't realize is now we're just getting into it with digital streaming content.
Right.
But for the longest time with TV was never really even 1080p. Like, for the most part, like, it was 1080i. There were some places that did that, but so why are we sitting here trying to put 4K out there on everything if it comes down to a compressed image on either something that's going to be sent on a TV?
Unless you're a like feature filmmaker and your movies are going to be watched in a theater, you don't need 4K, 8K, all this ridiculousness. Everything's going to be HD.
I have a Red, and I shoot on ProRes for the most part.
Yeah. And then you put that footage on online.
Good. Yeah. It looks really good with the compression.
It's so big.
No, dude, I shoot like either, depending on the upload, if I'm going social media, for the most part, I'll do a 2K upload or 2K ProRes 422.
Yeah.
Pretty simple, and it keeps it lightweight. I mean, granted, you can't push it far in grading like you would the RAW, but
yeah,
compared to the look you'll get out of an A7S, or something like that, what I get out of my A7S.
Obviously, I mean, yeah, the sensors just on a different level. That's why you're paying at least 50K for the camera.
Yeah, but that's a different story for a different day.
You can go to gear talk all day long.
We can go into gear talk all day long. And I'll go down that rabbit hole, but I just want to make sure we're giving a lot of value about
exactly. No, this has been great, and those are super actionable tips about like when you're going to record, things to think about, and the importance of having the video and being. I mean, that consistency piece. Honestly, like, if nothing else, even if your stuff isn't the highest quality, even if it's shot on your phone, it's fine. That consistency piece is the most important thing, and that's something I realized recently was. I'd planned basically a week ahead for the content, and I realized that I need to plan a month ahead because life happens. And if you can just, so basically instead of making 3 to 6 videos at a time, I need to make 12 videos at a time and then plan them out over the next month so I can then make the next 12 while those are going out. Because it's a lot of work, but if you can at least get it's a habit thing, it's a rhythm thing. And it's a lot of work, but like, again, videos.
That's why I say, here's another thing that's important.
Go for
business overall. And I've learned this the hard way. The editing. and just everything else that's time consuming about
So
video. The
many
editing
steps,
is so
too.
bad.
Hey friends, it's your podcast buddy Noah Midmid here, and I want to talk to you a little bit today about one of my passion projects, my clothing brand, Clothing for Creators. Roll the tape.
If my life were a movie, the hero's big speech would end with, "Stop waiting, start creating." Because that's the drive behind my story. Like when I couldn't afford to finish film school. So instead, I started my own production company and gave myself a trial by fire YouTube business degree. And it's not just me with these kinds of stories. There is this growing movement of passionate, creative, flow state writing, hustling, persistent creators and entrepreneurs that are taking the internet and the world by storm.
Everybody told me I wasn't going to be able to make any money as an artist. Now, 15 years later, I've worked on 3 continents. I do own my house. My shop, I'm booked out 8 months ahead. I don't subscribe to being a starving artist.
Creativity and I are very deep, dark lovers. I've just decided I'm just gonna make stuff. And even if it's not perfect, like, it's getting made.
You're gonna think that there's right answers and there's not. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Let's just throw dye on it and it'll look great.
You don't need rules some old guy in a suit made up. You don't need anyone telling you that your voice doesn't matter. We are makers, creative types, side hustlers, doers. Why? Because we get shit done.
The most important thing every single day is just to get your shit done.
Just keep doing it, keep producing, keep creating, and as you do that, you're going to start becoming the person that you want to be.
Don't be scared to try. Commit. You can't half-ass do something. We're full-ass around here.
So there's a film you need to make, a company you need to create, a voice you need to share, a product you know the world needs. Put all of yourself into it until anyone who has ever doubted you starts asking you for a job. Then you get to play for a living. You get to create community.
Partnerships, collaborations, building bonds with people that like the same stuff you like.
You get to live with your heart on your sleeve, a smile on your face, and a solid answer to when anybody asks, why do you do what you do?
Sometimes you have to say fuck all the rules to get something that you really need to get out of yourself.
You don't need the opinion of the old guy in the suit.
You have to give yourself permission to just go. A little less conversation, a little more action.
Clothing for Creators. Go check out snowmanfilms.shop today.
Hey there, fellow creatives. Conversations with Creators dives deep into the minds of successful filmmakers, artists, musicians, and all-around awesome people. We are looking for some kick-ass sponsors to help us keep this show on the road. If you want to reach a tribe of dedicated listeners who are just as passionate about creating as you are, then look no further. Our audience is full of people who appreciate a good laugh and are always on the lookout for new ways to fuel their creativity. So, let's team up and create some magic together. We'll work with you to make sure that your brand is showcased in the best light possible. And who knows, maybe we'll even become lifelong friends. Just imagine, years from now, we'll be reminiscing about the good old days when we first teamed up to take the world by storm. Send us an email at noah@snowmanfilms.net to say hey and get the ball rolling. Now back to the episode.
But my point is for any business, find what you're good at, find what brings you the most revenue, and focus on that. Like literally, I can't tell you how much happier I am to just ship off stuff with the editing, because I don't like to be in front of the computer. I like to interact with people. And when I'm interacting with people, I can make connections and make new clients. And that's going to make me way more money than I'll ever make in the editor bay.
Yeah.
And the best part about it is like, granted, I've been editing for a long time and have everything all in one. The best part about it is my content actually got better. It's kind of hard to admit that. Not really.
I'm
hindsight
in this conversation considering giving editing to a VA, because I love editing, and
well, vet them hard.
But
the point is, it doesn't have to be editing. But
because a lot of the micro content that I'm putting out now, which is less than 60 seconds long, is mostly just educational, me talking to camera with like titles popping up occasionally. It's not crazy showreel stuff. So the amount of, basically I'm putting in titles and GIFs and that's it, in pictures to illustrate points, but it's really simple. So if I could get editing off my plate, that would help a lot for the simple stuff. And then, when I do want to make when I want to go, higher level, like what ClickFunnels is doing now with their basically like short films as their marketing content. They're like fully produced, like with lighting and actors and everything. That I can totally make myself.
No, yeah, I just think because the time wise, it just makes so much more sense. And like, especially since I've been shifting more to social media and stuff, a lot of the quick flashy edits with the graphics do a lot better on there for the most part, because you only have 7 seconds to capture somebody's attention.
Exactly right. That's why I always stay. Actually, here's a great tip to kind of build off of that is, I start every video out, and you can see through my content, I start every video out with, in this video, I'll be covering this subject. Hi, I'm Noah, of course. So in the first 3 seconds, you know exactly what the video is about. So if you want to stick around, great. And if it's not for you, perfect. But you at least let people know what they're there for.
Oh, that reminds me of that YouTube ad idea I was telling you about earlier. It was one thing that I was trying with a client is basically it's the YouTube ad where it goes in front of the YouTube videos, not like
the pre-roll.
The pre-roll, yeah. And so it's just a cutout of this person kind of taking up part of the screen, not too much, and they say, hey, do you need XYZ? If so, continue watching. If not, click next. So basically, and the ad goes on for 2 seconds more and says, hi, I'm blank blank. And this is what we do.
Exactly.
And just cuts.
If you're I love that. I love that. That's really cool because that's like permission for the viewer if they're not interested to click forward and not feel bad. Like, I love that. That's kind of like a conversation within the ad.
And it almost intrigues you too, because you're like, I have the option to skip, but like, do I want to?
Right. This is the same reason now why, social media is why you're seeing movie trailers now showing the first 5 seconds is just the most intense parts or the coolest or action or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. And then title, because they want to hook you. It's literally movie trailers have changed because of social media.
Yeah, one time, it's funny, I actually watched an ad for an entire movie. Like the movie was ad, but it was so good that I actually watched the whole movie.
Exactly.
And it was like, it wasn't even that crazy of a movie, but it was just so good. I don't remember.
Was it like movie length in an ad?
Oh, it was 1 hour and a half. Like I watched the whole thing in the ad. I'm not kidding you. It was like a free movie in the ad. I just remember I
courage
stopped,
on that person to run teacher. That. I love it.
It was like sponsored by Intel, if I remember. But like I showed my film teacher the next day. I was literally told him the story, and we all watched the movie in class because it was perfect. Because it was just like, what can you do on a low budget with this much? Make it interesting still. And I don't even know what they were trying to promote or anything in the end. But
that's the issue. That's the issue. If that's
why you have to have the call to action.
The call to action, what we talked about on your podcast. Exactly right. If you had a movie and then you have a real solid call to action at the end, then it's an effective ad. But they're just like it. That's the thing too. Is there's the only time you don't need a call to action. Potentially it's because you thought it was Intel. So if you're a big brand like that and you like it's your world known, all that stuff, you got your Coke level, your Budweiser level, your Nike level, you don't necessarily need a call to action because you are so well known. It's just, again, a top of mind thing. Oh, I need new shoes or I need a drink. Oh yeah, I saw that cool ad. I'll get, so, but if you're anybody below Nike level, which is 99% of us, then yes, you need a call to action. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's all super important, and it depends how you're implementing it. And like that YouTube idea we talked about, the call to action would be just wait till the next video.
I love that.
And then you funnel them down to the next one and the next one. You can use 3 to 5, let's say.
Yeah.
But if they make it to 5,
right,
they're probably going to be a customer.
Talk to me about that. It sounds like you have some ad experience. So talk to me about like what, the retargeting strategy, and even, for somebody who doesn't know, what is retargeting?
All right. So this is such a broad topic, but we'll simplify it real quick. You can kind of track some people, and this is changing too with Facebook's ad update coming up in
interesting.
May, I think, I don't know. It's coming up soon. It may have already happened.
Changing constantly.
It's not Facebook technically. It's Apple's updating their
Okay.
iOS, which gives the users the option to choose if they track the background data. So you may not be able to track them as well as you used to on Facebook.
Retargeting
coming
on
up.
Facebook maybe going away.
Not going away, but just
Changing.
not as it should still get the job done, but
Yeah.
it's going to be less stalkerish. And the thing is, it's also about the permissions, because
Right.
like you can technically allow it. But anyways, so side tangent on that. So basically, with Facebook and YouTube and Google, you can put stuff like pixels inside your website. And by putting these in the website, it's just a piece of code that gets opened and goes to a log and says, hey, this person went here, here, here on your website. They spent this much time. It's different for Google Analytics and stuff, but by really looking at that data and that information, you can kind of like that's another big part of it, data analytics too. You can kind of sit there and really target your customers and your leads and your people. So for instance, let's say if you have a shop, or let's say if you have a course that you're trying to sell, you can install your Facebook pixel on your site and then set up something automated so that, let's say they go into your shopping cart and they put your course in the shopping cart, but then they leave and they don't come back. You can actually target that person with a video specifically for that person. It's a lot of work to set up, and that's why we tell people to kind of hire out, exactly, because you can
I've done
do
it
on
and
your
it's
own.
in the ass.
It is a pain. But
again,
is,
it's amazing to be able to
works.
track that. Yeah, no, to see. I mean, and so exactly what you said. You can target with an ad after a secondary ad, or even a third or fourth. We're talking different levels here, of somebody who has basically abandoned their shopping cart on your site. Didn't buy, like they wanted to buy your course, but then they didn't. And you can say, oh, okay, I now have hey, saw that you went to, you can make it like so personalized. Be like, saw that you're interested in this. I'd love to give you like these 3 more features about why this is awesome, to convince them to go back and finish.
Or offer them a fire sale, or
whatever it is.
Whatever it is. But
that's so powerful.
Thing. I don't think people realize, but social media is not free. Like no matter what, like even
Absolutely.
as a user, you're giving away your data. As a business, you're giving away either money or whatever. Back in the day, Facebook used to be a place, and Instagram, YouTube, you can carve your way out on. And so with Google with the SEO. But the point is you have to pay to play. You have to either have to pay with your time to create all the content, whether it's going to be videos, photos, graphics, whatever, or you have to pay money for somebody to do that. And that would be a more organic growth strategy. And that would take much, much longer. But I guarantee you in the long run, that's probably going to be a better strategy. And then there's also the paid traffic method, which is obviously paid for up front. So you have to pay one way or another, whether it's your time, your money, or your resources, whatever it is. Like, just go get out there and just start paying, whether you're going to do it in the spending or you're going to do it in whatever. It sounds so dumb, but if you're really lacking the results you want on social media, like, you got to put some money into it, because
commit.
It becomes impossible to manage a brand, running a company, and running a social media properly.
It's
reality.
A lot. Yeah, it's a lot. And that's really what the lesson that I've realized over the last couple of weeks was like, okay, I know. And this is really comes back to the zone of genius conversation, which is, what are you really good at, and what do you enjoy? Like, what gives you energy? Because if you're spending so much time on stuff that you hate, and you're not going to have the energy to do the stuff that you're good at and that you enjoy. So that's really, I'm realizing the filming and the captions and stuff, like when I schedule stuff out, needs to be my voice. But there's a lot, like, again, editing of this podcast and posting of this podcast and stuff like that. Show notes are not me. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't have to be your time, where if you stay with what you're good at and what you enjoy, that's why we're doing this, is to do work that we enjoy and that we're good at. Otherwise we can all go get the 9 to 5 and, do that grind. This is literally the subject of the ebook that I just finished today, and I pre-sold it yesterday to a lady on a call, but it's called the social media funnel. And it's literally doing that. It's setting up all of your social media profiles to get those leads, get those emails and the calls to action, and if you have like a lead magnet or a low ticket thing, like my ebook, $7, getting them into the next stage with you. And Clubhouse being connected to Instagram which then can connect to Linktree, where people can, browse your stuff, is just the best use of time and energy, man. But you have to have your profile set up the right way to make that happen.
Yeah, I'm still figuring it out in there and trying to.
I can give you my book. It'll help you.
All right, perfect. Because I got to get in Clubhouse. I got to get more of the funnels going again.
Yeah, man.
It's kind of.
Again,
I try to do less
capturing the leads, not just having conversations, but like, here's here's more about me, and here's the next step to take with me.
What do you use for your email system? Like
Active Campaign.
Active Campaign. I just tried to
it's super easy. Actually, this is covered in the book, is how to create a step-by-step on how to create a automation with Active Campaign that will get your freebie or whatever, mostly a freebie.
All right, I'll check it out.
Or a product sent out to people automatically.
Yeah, because also another thing that I personally am working on strengthening in my inbox of marketing tools is the email marketing.
Yeah.
Because even though people think it's bad, it's just so good. Like that list that you have created, it's just so strong. And it's like, I have a little bit of a list, but I just got to figure out how to use it to its full advantage.
I'm about to test it out for the first time with this. Once I have the funnel ready for the ebook, which I'm building right now, I'm going to let my list know that I have a new ebook out, and through the funnel, and see what happens, see if there's some sales that come through. But no, your email list is everything. And that's another, I think, probably freebie I'm going to make. Handout is like how to put together a welcome sequence that's automated on your email, so that every time you add a new email, they will get 5 to 7 different value emails from you. So they get to know you over the span of a couple of weeks. And that's all automated. You have to set it up once, so you don't have to be constantly hitting them again, but like you're helping them. You're not asking for anything in return. And it's what?
You're doing that all in ClickFunnels?
No, that's through that entire email automation thing is through Active Campaign.
Okay.
Active Campaign is my absolute favorite. I know. Oh, what's the other one? I don't remember. There's a bunch of them, but I love the interface.
I started Sendinblue lately because I really wasn't happy with MailChimp. Like, it was good back in the day, but yeah, but like
MailChimp
now,
is just clunky, man. It's not fun to use, which is when you're dealing with technical stuff, having it at least decently fun to use is key.
No, I agree, because I just recently got back into that email thing, and I'm like,
dude, yeah,
I can't use
email list
MailChimp.
Well, again, it's that whole the idea of traffic that you own versus traffic you don't own. So traffic that you own is your email list, your text list, your web, whatever, who's coming to your website, all those communities. Traffic that you do not own is social media. They can shut you down whenever they want, and they will, if you break a rule or whatever. And then if you get shut down or you get blocked or whatever, you just lost all of, however long you've had that profile and however many people you've connected with, those are all gone because you do not own that traffic. So getting people to your email list, to your texting thing, is everything.
No, it's so important. Like, just the biggest thing for anything is that I realize in my business too is, even if you're not offering the best product, the best service, whatever, if you're the cheapest, the most expensive, the biggest thing for any client that you can do is to communicate.
Yeah.
It sounds so dumb and it's so rudimentary. And I even missed out on this myself. But like, I lost a client because I wasn't communicating enough with them. And I realized after the fact, because I had just taken it for granted, because I had thought like we were doing everything well and it was just a little bit behind schedule. But, like I wasn't updating enough and doing a lot of stuff. And I'm pretty sure I would have been able to save that relationship if I had communicated
more. It's everything, man. I agree.
Well, this has been awesome. Doing the things to fix it, but I didn't communicate that, so they didn't know that.
You didn't know that there were things to fix. Exactly. No, it's huge. So this has been awesome. What are you up to? What are you excited about right now, and where can people find you?
Right now, everybody can find me. Probably the best place to reach me would be either Instagram or LinkedIn, and it's just Adam Ekblad. It's Ekblad for anybody looking how to spell it. You guys can reach out with me there. If you want to follow some of my business projects, you can follow my video brand, #cinema. You got to spell out hashtag. So #cinema.com. We have the Instagram, Facebook. You can find us there. And my latest venture is called Maury Travel, which is that specific travel brand I was talking about that is marketing specifically for your travel experience. And that can be found at maury.travel, or you can find us on Instagram at maury.travel as well.
And how do you spell that?
MORII.
I'm happy I asked. It's weird.
Yeah, that's so true. It is. What do you think of the name? Maury.travel?
Maury, what is it? What does it mean to you?
Maury means the desire to capture a fleeting experience.
That's a great word. So that works.
And I just liked it because like you want Maury.
I like it. No, it works for both ways. That's great. Well, Adam, thank you so
for
much,
having
man.
me, man.
This has been a blast.
I want to do this again soon. So maybe in a month or two, we can revisit and I can have you on my podcast because I just had a great time chatting with you. And hopefully we gave everybody a lot of great value.
Totally, man. I'd be happy to have you. And I appreciate your time.